Hi, I'm Al Asharoff. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Reyets. Reyets helps people protect their civil rights by allowing you to document police misconduct, and then we use that data to create reforms and accountability. So this all got started over 25 years ago when, as a 17-year-old, I was arrested. A student I'd never met and didn't know accused me of assault. I assumed at the time if I fully complied that this legal system would protect me. I was wrong. It did not end well for me, but I learned a very valuable lesson. If you don't know your rights, it's basically like you don't have them. So, how is this relevant today? People still don't know their rights. Over 37% of people couldn't even name a single Second Amendment right. That includes something as simple as freedom of speech. And then when people do realize that their rights have been violated, or they document an abuse and they go to report police misconduct, it's super difficult. Over 18,000 police departments across the country, each and every one of them have their own process, and often they're complicated on how to report and handle misconduct, abuses, and allegations. This means that people are just not reporting misconduct. Over 95% of misconduct is not even reported. So how can we even make reform without having access to this data? This is crucial. As a result, we're in a situation where every 7 hours, someone in the U.S. is fatally shot by a police officer. That's over 1,200 a year. That's too much. The solution, we believe, is community-oriented policing, and that focuses on 3 things. Citizen witnessing, so documenting, cop watching, recording and documenting potential abuses, or just watching the police. 2 is data collection, taking that citizen witnessing and converting it into data that we can use and analyze. And 3rd, reform efforts, using the data we collect to create reforms. So let me give you 2 examples of where this is already being done in real life. In Durham, North Carolina, a group got together and started documenting police activity when it comes to police stops. They discovered that black males were being stopped and searched at over twice the rate of white males. Using this information, they were able to present it to the local police and the city and have laws actually changed. Now, when a police officer wants to search a car, they need written consent. A second community in Maryland, a group got together and started documenting results of police aggression and brutality. They discovered every 14 days someone was being fatally shot in the state of Maryland by a police officer. They took this information and enacted meaningful reform at a state, county, and city level. They really made meaningful change. So, what's the solution? The solution is to reduce barriers to building community programs. Community programs are hard to launch because they require resources, and every community that does it is kind of reinventing the wheel. There isn't a tool out there to make it easy. Our goal is to let people launch community policing programs and increase public engagement by making it as easy to launch one of these as it is to sign up for your email. That's why we built a mobile app paired with a database that's powered by AI to be able to launch and build these communities. There's 2 parts to the solution. The mobile app is free. Anyone can download it. You can in fact download it right now, and it'll tell you your rights down to the state that you're in, the city that you're in, let you document any abuse in the form of like recording video, audio, or just typing in a report, and then connecting with help. And that help can be from a lawyer, the press, connecting with community organizations or government organizations, depending on your beliefs, how you want to handle the situation, and the type of help that you need. That's then fed in to a database. This database is managed at the local level by people that are part of the community. People then analyze the data using our AI engine, and they can understand and formulate reports that lets them identify misconduct down to a single officer, department, or an area, and present that to their local governments and cities and police departments to help them make reform. It's a team effort. We're just giving you the tool, so instead of doing this in a handful of cities, we can do it in thousands of cities around the country. Who is this for? Basically, we're targeting the black community because they're in most need of these resources. They're disproportionately affected by a police system that's been, ineffective and wrought with violence. Second is immigrant communities that might be targeted, or DACA. And third are activists and civil rights motivated individuals who are already out there pushing for reforms. So what's the market look like for something like this? How do you even make money? Well, it's a huge market. $119 billion a year is spent on policing in the U.S. In these 17 cities that we've identified as key markets for us, there's over $90 billion that's being spent. And cities are already taking money out of their budgets and allocating it for community programs like the one Reyets is helping to power. So in Austin, they've taken $50 million and allocated that just for community programs. DC is doing that as well. They've taken $15 million out of their annual budget to allocate to community programs. And many, many more cities around the country are doing this, and we think this is going to be a trend that continues. So, as an example, as a launch market, if we launch in DC, you're talking about 700,000 people. The government currently spends about $911 in policing. Using a SaaS model, we would charge them an annual fee to carry out this program that's equivalent to about $5 per capita. That'd be a $3.5 million engagement over 1 year. So you can do the math and duplicate this across the 17 states that we've talked about and identified. That's over $1 billion in revenue if we can hit those 17 states over the next 5 years. So we think there's a meaningful opportunity here. To date, 3 co-founders have come together. We've put in $100,000 of our own money and raised $25,000 through a convertible note. We've built a beta version of the app, done a lot of research, and got a lot of feedback from our 6,000 beta users. And now we're ready to actually build the full platform that can scale and manage these community programs. The team behind Reyets have known each other for over 20 years. We've each launched our own businesses, including startups, running a digital agency, building software, and we know how to operate and run a business. We also know how to work together and reach out and get the resources for help. This is why we really believe we have a strong opportunity to successfully execute our vision. We're doing a $1.2 million raise as a convertible note and hoping that you'll join us in supporting Reyets, either on our crowdfunding campaign through WeFunder, or as an investor. We'd love to talk to you more and give you details about how we plan to grow in the next couple of years. Thank you for hearing the pitch.